Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Roster Talk. Today, I have the in-game leader, the brains behind Lilmix, Quix. To start it off, mate, it's been a little while since we've had a chat with one another.
Yeah, like a half year or something, but
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back, both with a new lineup and together with you.
Mate, you're already introducing. I don't even need to do it, mate. You're already getting into it. Now, I want to start away with looking back at the last year. Now, for me, I remember casting you guys quite a lot at like December sort of 2019, January 2020. You guys were sort of like really posting up some high rankings, getting a lot of invites on HLTV. You had sort of Downey in the team as a coach around that sort of period. I remember Isaac sort of went away. He went over to what was it, Gamer Legion at the time. And then Sved sort of parted ways later in the year, and then you signed sort of HNS and Freddie. So I just kind of want to get a breakdown of like what at least 2021 was like for you guys.
To be honest, 2021 was a great year. I
Mm-hmm.
can't put that under the chair. We did the incredible results, like you said, in the late 2020 and
Yeah.
2021, the start of it. But you mentioned Isaac went to Gamer Legion. I think that was the downhill for us.
Mm.
We couldn't find a fifth, and he went there. What was it, April or something?
I think it was end of April, right? That was like
Yeah.
roughly the period, yeah.
So basically, 4 or 5 months into 2021, we did great results. We played a lot of HLTV maps.
Yeah.
We were like in the top in the world with most HLTV maps played. Unfortunately, maybe not the most wins, but we played a lot, and we grinded ourselves up to 39 in the world, and we were really proud of it. But when Isaac left, we couldn't find a fifth, and I think Svedi had left late summer, and with that, we couldn't really do much when we didn't have the fifth. So
Hmm.
we signed Freddie V and HNS just to try to get back to it. Unfortunately, the Freddie V wasn't the player that we needed, so that autumn and the winter were not that good. But overall, we are proud over 2021, and hopefully we can start off 2022 with the same result that we had in the start of the last year.
And while it may have not been an actual roster move, right? I remember GetRight was standing in for you guys for what was it, like maybe March, April, May, just every now and then, those best of threes. Was that something that sort of encouraged the team? Like, what even was that like? Because having someone like that in the server, it's got to make a big difference.
It was great. Like we know GetRight for a long time, and I, I guess everyone that will listen to this knows GetRight. He's a legend in the Counter-Strike scene and esport overall. It was great to have him on the server. We learned a lot. Unfortunately, we couldn't have him as a fifth,
Mm.
but we didn't really practice. We just stood in for a couple of HLTV games and for the Swedish Elite Serien, where we placed third. So the result wasn't bad, but still they weren't good either. But of course we tried to learn everything that GetRight said, and that gave us a lot of experience. So we're really happy that he wanted to stand in for us.
Now, you mentioned just before, obviously, bringing HNS into the team and Freddie too. I want to touch on HNS because this is a guy that, at least from what I remember, actually played with you guys right at the beginning. Now he's kind of getting brought back. What was the decision making there? Was it just knowing he could have been the right player for the fit? Because, at least from what you're saying, it sounded like after Isaac left, it just there was sort of changes in the lineup, but they weren't quite to the level of okay, we can get back to that top 39 position.
It was hard to find a fifth. We know HNS from before, and like you said, we played with him back in 2017, 2018, 2019,
Ages, yeah.
ages ago. Like I played with him in Vext and in a
Of
team called the
course.
Final Tribe
Yeah, yeah.
that is now Godsent. Uh, so we have played with HNS for a long time, and I think it was good that we didn't play for each other for a time, and he could grab some more experience from other players around the world. I know he played for uh, Lyngby Vikings for a
Lingby,
while,
yeah.
and I think he grabbed a lot of experience that he could bring into the team. So sometimes it's good to be apart from each other just to grab more information, more experience, more stuff to bring into the new team that we have now.
Hmm.
So I think it was a good fit for us, and he's a friend of us outside and inside the server. So and that's also a good thing to know each other outside of the server to get the team chemistry going.
Well, talking about chemistry, one guy we haven't spoken about just yet is BQ. Now, this guy posts bangers up on social media, always putting clips up and videos on Twitter. But what's he actually like in server? You've played with him for what feels like it's got to be about a year and a half, roughly.
Yep.
It's been a very long time. So kind of give me some of the roles. Like, does he help out with calling? Like, how do you feel as if he contributes to a team like Lilmix?
Uh, oh, he have the firepower, of course. He have the aim that I don't have at least. But he's also a really smart player. It doesn't really help with the in-game calling, but
Okay.
when we go through stuff, he always come up with great ideas.
Hmm.
He on practice he try to always fit in with the new things. So that's the cool thing with being a team that is such a good friends that we help each other inside the server before games, after games that we talk about it. Of course, he have a little bit of temperament, like he can be a bit tilt on it on himself when he doesn't put up the numbers that he expect to do. So he can be a bit tilt on himself, but we are trying to work that away from him.
Okay, well that's kind of looking at maybe some of the pieces of the pie as such that we know of. Now let's start looking at some of the newer faces. Now, I think Aura really made a spark when they made it to the RMR. I remember watching their game against Saw. I think I cast them slightly earlier in the closed qualifier, and I was watching that game against Saw when it was Inferno. Very close game, is that entire best of three, and you could just feel like that was such a big moment for them. And all of those guys on the team, at least for me, I was not familiar with before. So they started, at least the whole team, made that reputation of we're here to try and upset, like we're here to try and get the experience. And now we find with the next announcement that two of those guys are actually coming to your team. So what did you see in someone like Hype, obviously the in-game leader, or the AWP player, I should say, for Aura, now trying to bring that over to this team, and someone like Bobek as well, who both very young and both don't have a lot of experience, at least playing in the higher levels of Tier 2.
Yeah, that's what we have done before. Like when we picked up Svedjehead, he didn't have any map on HLTV really.
Mm,
Bobek and Hype got their breakthrough in, was it the summer or something? They didn't really
yeah,
have any
probably.
maps on HLTV either. Uh, I love the grind with the players that is talented and try to work with them, and I think we will find a really good team chemistry and everything going on the server. I don't think anyone missed out what Aura did from the open qualifier to the close qualifier
Mm,
to go to the RMR event. I think that journey that they did, and they also won the Swedish Elite Serien, that is like the Swedish Tier 2 biggest tournament. They won it on LAN as well, so uh, everyone in Aura are so talented. I think they were missing some pieces, but all the players are such a good. So when they disband, it was the opportunity for us to bring over those two that could fit in best in our team. So it was Hype and Bob.
All right, well, maybe let's go a little bit deeper, because at least from recording this video, these guys were only signed very recently, less than a week ago. So I look at this and I think to myself, okay, what can we expect from someone like Hype? We know explosive player with the AWP. We haven't seen you guys in the officials. The advanced season hasn't started yet, and the local Swedish league, the online league, I don't even want to attempt to try and say it because I know I'm just going to butcher it completely. That starts in a few days as well. So if we haven't seen you in officials, can you give us some insight of maybe what we can expect and what Hype is going to be able to do for the team?
If I just take the numbers that he put down on practice, everyone will be happy about seeing him in the official. The practice are going really well, and he's a really talented op. For his young age, he's talking so good. Like it feels like he's been playing for many years. A lot of impact with how he used communication while he's shooting so good. So it feels like he's so experienced, but with only like a half year in the tier 2-3 scene, I feel like this guy have a big potential. Same with Bob, of course.
Okay, and maybe talking about Bobek as well, he's now the youngest player on the team, being 18. And I don't want to touch on to the age subject too much here, Quix, but you are 29. What does that difference almost be like? Do you look at yourself as being like a mentor for someone like Bobek? Obviously, being the in-game leader of the team, you've got to try and sort of introduce them the best that you can, but that's a big age gap between you and him.
It's a really big. I think what is it? 11,
11
10 or
years?
11 years?
Yeah.
That's a big difference. But like you said, I try to be a mentor. I try to do everything so it feels comfortable for them to play. Uh, uh, I hope that we can grind and just be a successful team. But in my head, I'm also happy if I try to be a mentor and I try to be a guy that make them come to a Taiwan team one day. That's my goal. I know that I won't get any tier 1 offers with my age, but with my heart and my brain, I know that I will be so proud of myself if I be one of the guy that is the reason why they are in a tier 1 team. So both have big potential, and I'm still 18 in my head when I talk with these guys. So yeah, hopefully we can grind ourselves to tier 1, but if not, I just want my guys around me to be as comfortable as possible, and I can drop them weapons, I can be the entry, I can be anything that they really need to shine and show their potential.
Now, this is always a difficult question to answer, especially so early into the season. But when I look back at those results early in sort of 2021, and you're looking at that sort of top 40, top 50 position, realistically, with the pieces you've got in front of you, do you think getting to that level again is definitely possible, or is it going to take quite a significant period of time, do you think, for yourself?
We have put ourselves in the top 40, top 60. That's our goal for the next 6 months at least, to be a stable top 40, 60 team on HLTV ranking, and just keep grinding those invites. Hopefully we can just get 1 or 2 invites now, so that we can show that we are a team that people can count on. So yeah, that's our goal for the next at least 6 months, and after that, hopefully we can just grind ourselves and be a top 30 team. That's of course the main goal, to be top 30 on HLTV.
Well, I'll tell you this, Quix. I'm going to be looking back here in about 6 months' time and seeing where Lilmix's ranking is. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, and best of luck with the team going into the new year.
Thank you very much, man.